The 2020 NFL wide receiver draft class was known before the draft as one of the best of all time, and these young wide receivers have lived up to expectations. You could legitimately say that 5 or 6 of these guys are already in the top 30 wide receivers in the NFL as just rookies, and there is so much talent among them. I see many of them becoming wide receiver ones in the near future. I'm AB Sports, and today I will be giving my list of the top 10 rookie wide receivers from 2020. Starting off at number 10 is Darnell Mooney from Tulane. The Bears drafted him in the 5th round. He was the 25th wide receiver taken out of the 36 that were drafted this year. Mooney has proven to be a fantastic deep threat. He is consistently getting open down the field, but the Bears quarterbacks are too inaccurate and the offensive line just isn't good enough for Chicago to take advantage of Mooney's talents. Mooney would be in the Offensive Rookie of the Year conversation if he was on the Chiefs or the Packers. At number 9 is Michael Pittman Jr. from USC. The Colts drafted him in the 2nd round. He was the 8th wide receiver off the board, so his ranking is about right. Pittman missed the beginning of the season with an injury, but came back and has been a spark for the Colts passing game. Pittman looks like Robbie Anderson on the field, and 250 of his 330 receiving yards this year have come in the last 4 games. The Colts should be a playoff team, and you can't win the playoffs with just a fantastic defense and an average running game. He's going to have to get open for immobile Phillip Rivers, and I think he will. At number 8 is Gabriel Davis from UCF. The Bills took him in the 4th round. He was the 17th wide receiver off the board, and this is a name that most NFL fans don't know, but they should. The Bills are a top 10 offense despite nothing from their running game. Stephon Diggs, John Brown, and Cole Beasley have been the chain movers for Josh Allen this year, but Davis is who he's been looking for in the red zone and down the field. Davis has 16 yards per catch this season and 4 touchdowns, and a few of them have been outstanding grabs. Brown and Beasley are on the tail end of their careers, but the Bills are set for the future with a receiving core consisting of Davis and Diggs. At number 7 is Henry Ruggs, the speedster from Alabama. The Raiders took him in the 1st round, and he was the 1st wide receiver off the board. Ruggs hasn't had too much production this year, but he has opened up the offense for the Raiders dramatically. Josh Jacobs has had tons of running lanes, and if anyone's wondering how Nelson Agholor is having such a good year, it's because Ruggs is drawing the safety over to his side of the field. He's very explosive with the ball in his hands and should get more scheme touches down the stretch as the Raiders are in a desperate playoff push. Number 6 is Ruggs' former college teammate, Jerry Jeudy. Also went to Alabama. The Broncos took him in the 1st round. He was the 2nd wide receiver off the board. He went 3 picks after Ruggs. And I personally would have taken Jeudy, as you can see by this list. He's put up 600 yards on the season on 16 yards per catch with abysmal quarterback play on the Broncos. He runs the most crisp routes and gets open so easily. Jeudy has the potential to have a Keenan Allen type career and will be a great security blanket for whichever quarterback Denver eventually finds. At number 5, I have T. Higgins from Clemson. The Bengals took him in the 2nd round. He was the 7th wide receiver off the board. Higgins reminds me of the player the Bengals drafted him to replace, which is A.J. Green. They're both big wide receivers with the ability to make contested and toe-tap catches, and they have after-the-catch speed. It seems like Green's in his last year in Cincy, and I think that's just fine for the Bengals. Burrow's injury cost Higgins good numbers for the second half of the season, but the Bengals fans hope the 2020 draft can be one for the ages, with them landing Burrow and Higgins in rounds 1 and 2. They hope to hear that connection for years and years. And Higgins is 2nd among rookies in yards and 3rd in catches, so Burrow does feed him the ball quite a bit. At 4 is a player that I really like, and that's Brandon AIYUK from Arizona State. He's a San Francisco 49er now. He was drafted in the 1st round, and he was the 6th wide receiver taken. I can't believe he ended up 4th on this list, because when I watch this player, I think he is special. He looks like a more athletic Devontae Adams, which I know sounds crazy. He's so explosive and shifty with the ball in his hands. AIYUK's stats aren't going to blow anyone away, but he missed 2 games this season with injury and 2 with COVID, and has had bad quarterback play all season. Draft this guy in fantasy next year. Number 3 is Chase Claypool, who has 10 touchdowns in 11 games, which is shattering rookie records. Claypool is from Notre Dame, and the Steelers drafted him in the 2nd round. He was the 11th wide receiver taken. He broke onto the scene week 5 against Philly with 116 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he's had at least 50 yards or a touchdown in all but 1 game since then. Claypool is 6'4" and can high point balls and then take off with them for long touchdowns. Don't get it twisted. He's a big reason the Steelers are 11-0. It's not just the defense. Number 2 is CeeDee Lamb from Oklahoma. The Cowboys drafted him in the first round. He was the 3rd wide receiver taken, just after Ruggs and JEUDY. And Lamb was my favorite wide receiver in the pre-draft, and he has not disappointed. The ridiculous catches he's made and the yards after the catch he gains have translated well from college to pro. Dallas didn't really need him, but boy is it nice to have him. Lamb is only number 2 because he has some dropping issues and because one rookie wide receiver is blowing the doors off the competition. CeeDee Lamb has 650 yards and 4 touchdowns for his rookie season so far. The number 1 rookie has 918 yards and 6 touchdowns, and it's Justin Jefferson from LSU. The Vikings drafted him in the first round. He was the 5th wide receiver off the board. Jefferson is really, really good. The Vikings made a great move to trade away a disgruntled Stephon Diggs and draft Justin Jefferson with that pick. Jefferson is 8th in the entire NFL in receiving yards, and 1st in yards per target with 12.8. Kirk Cousins is not that good. He just throws it up to Jefferson and gets 13 yards every single time he throws it his way. I still cannot believe the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor over this guy. Jefferson was fantastic at LSU last year, and that is translated perfectly to the pros. I still wouldn't give him Offensive Rookie of the Year. I'd give that to Chargers quarterback Justin Herbert, but Jefferson would be 2nd on my ballot. And some extra information for you guys, 3 of these players were not drafted in the top 10 among wide receivers back in the spring, and that is Mooney, Davis, and Claypool. The 3 they replaced were Laviska Shenault, who was 9th off the board to the Jags, who for the record I would have had at 11, KJ Hamler, who was 10th off the board and had a little injury-riddled season for the Broncos, and Jalen Reagor, who was 4th off the board to the Eagles. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, how about leaving a like and subscribing to the channel? The support would be very much appreciated, and thanks for watching.